To me, it just makes sense. Like, if he's fighting for a world title in my division, why don't people want to see who the best is in the division? Like, it doesn't not make sense to me if we don't fight.
My thing that I'm mad about is, right, if you guys think you're the best in the world, why don't you fight the other best in the world and show the people, like, what the you guys are getting a lot of money? Like, what's the problem?
Hey, they're talking about fighting the best, this and that. Don't fucking talk about it, boys. I'm right here. The winner out of Zerdo and Benavidez. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Jai Opetaia sent a strong message to David Benavidez as talk of a possible cruiserweight showdown grows following Ramirez's knockout loss. At the same time, Opetaia emphasized that his main priority is securing a lasting legacy, with a Benavidez fight only meaningful because of its importance within the division.
To chase fame or someone else, or, chase names for clout. I'm chasing undisputed. And Benavidez, his name's only in the mix is because he's fighting for a cruiserweight title. So if it wasn't fighting for a cruiserweight title, it doesn't bother me. I don't chase names. I'm chasing legacy and undisputed. Not look at the last couple undisputed fighters. They're the goats of this sport. Right. You know what I mean? And I want my name up there, and I want my last name.
Meanwhile, Benavidez sees a possible showdown with Opetaia as one of the division's biggest available fights, although promotional obstacles could prevent the matchup from coming together anytime soon.
I think that's the biggest fight in the world, especially at this weight division, and that's definitely a fight I want. Like I said, I'm not scared of nobody. This is Monstro's world, and if he wants to get that fight, we get that fight. I don't know why he went to Zuffa. We could have made this fight right after this one, but now I don't know if he got stripped by the IBF or what it is. I'm not going to go over there and fight for a Zuffa title, but I don't know. I think that would be a great fight to make in the future, and I respect Jai Opetaia a lot. He's a great fighter, and I think he has to come back over here to make these fights happen because, we can't make no fights in Zuffa.
Even so, Opetaia admires the focus and mindset Benavidez brings to boxing, while recognizing their potential matchup as a serious challenge for both fighters.
I actually don't mind Benavidez, you know what I mean? Like, he's the way he holds himself, the reason he fights, he's chasing legacy. He talks about him and his old man, and he opens up about, some of his, the life he sort of lived. So it's actually a little bit similar to mine, my dad being my coach, and so I can relate when I hear him speak. I know that feeling. I know, the father being the coach and boxing since you're a little boy. So, it's respect, but at the same time, bro, I feel like it's an awesome fight. And I told him too. I said, me and you, man, we'll like to fight.
Adding to speculation, Benavidez admits external issues may impact a future fight with Opetaia, but he still keeps the possibility open if both sides' situations eventually align.
We don't even know about Joe Opetaia now. I don't know what's going on with Zuffa. And from what I hear, my people and their people, they're really hard. They don't like to work with each other. So, but if that's what the people want, I'm here to cater to the people. So if we can't get the fight with Bivol and the people want the fight with Joe Opetaia, that's what we're going to do.
Jose Benavidez Sr. continues the discussion by questioning Opetaia's mainstream appeal, suggesting he lacks wider recognition for a major fight with Benavidez and needs more exposure beyond hardcore boxing fans.
I'd rather see David fight Zurdo or Opetaia. If you ask the Mexican fighters, they don't know who Opetaia is. He still needs to develop a little bit more and grow his fan base. Does it make sense? So if we were fighting Opetaia, people would be complaining. We're fighting nobody, about somebody that is not known. The boxing world knows who he is, because at the end of the day, for Mexicans know Opetaia.
Meanwhile, Jose Benavidez Sr. feels Opetaia requires more experience before facing someone like Benavidez, noting instances where he appeared shaky against lower-tier opponents, highlighting a clear gap in elite-level experience at this stage.
Honest with you, Opetaia, I think he gets hurt every fight he fights. He gets hurt with fighters that are not even known. I think he needs a little bit more experience. And I'm going to say the same thing like David Morrell. Everybody said that he was a next big thing and that he was going to make David look like an amateur, this and that. You know, he doesn't have the experience that David has. I think he is going to be better, and like in about 3-4 years more, you know, I think he's lacking out experience a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter. He is going to be a great fighter, but right now he doesn't have the experience that David has.
On the other side, Roy Jones Jr. advises Benavidez to focus first on a clash with Alexander Usyk before considering Opetaia, saying the Usyk fight holds more historical importance. He believes the Opetaia matchup can still happen later, but warns that timing is crucial to avoid losing career momentum.
It's not smart for David Benavidez to give Jai Opetaia a shot at his name right now because he's hot right now. You go up and fight Usyk while you're hot, and it makes sense. You can always come back down and fight Opetaia if you want to. You understand? If you lost to Usyk, Opetaia fight still there. If you lose to Opetaia, Usyk fight gone. So be smart about this thing. Go take Usyk while the iron is hot. You beat Usyk, you don't know how to see Opetaia unless he want to come to heavyweight. But if you go fight Opetaia and lose, you don't get a chance to see Usyk, and you don't get a chance to make history. That's crazy. You're on a rail right now to do something that nobody ever done.
At the same time, Andre Ward considers Opetaia the most significant available opponent for Benavidez, viewing him as the division's proven name. While Benavidez continues gaining momentum and attention, Ward believes this matchup currently offers more excitement and relevance than other potential fights being discussed.
I think the Jai Opetaia fight at cruiserweight is the fight for me. That's the fight that I want to see. Jai has been the man at that weight class for a very long time. Now you got a new player in the division with a hot name and whose stock and whose star power is only rising. That's the fight I believe that needs to be made at the cruiserweight division. We'd love to see Bivol, but for some reason, the light heavyweight division just is not as appealing to me right now for David Benavidez. And again, I'm not sure that that's the right weight for him to fight, being that he's fought this weight and looked the way that he did. I think it's cruiserweight or maybe go up and fight.
The potential fight between Benavidez and Opetaia is already being viewed by Teofimo Lopez as a major cruiserweight event, carrying championship-level significance as both fighters build momentum. However, Lopez feels Benavidez should take another step in the division before the spotlight fully turns to that matchup.
Kingpin Jai Opetaia
Jai
tweeted, "Enjoy your victory. See you soon."
Ooh, okay.
Now, there's been plenty of talk over the past year of Benavidez fighting Beterbiev or Bivol guys, right, at light heavy. But now that he's at cruiserweight, what does Benavidez and Opetaia look like? What does that look like, Teo?
I see it as like an undisputed title, and if with the whole conjunction of Zuffa belt and everything like that, why not? I mean, we had that kind of similarity when it came to Canelo and Crawford, right? And I felt like this is another great time. I think we should wait on this. Let David Benavidez aim for Noel for the WBC, who just beat Badou Jack, and then
Devin Haney considers a Benavidez versus Opetaia fight a high-level clash due to Opetaia's cruiserweight skills. But he also feels Benavidez brings unique presence and ability that could make the matchup especially impactful.
He's a good fighter, but I think that Benavidez is just a great fighter.
Do you think that that's a competitive fight? Do you think it goes a lot of rounds? Do you think it's a fight of the year type of fight?
Yeah, I think that it's a very competitive fight because, you know, Jai, he has speed, he has power, he has experience, and he's been at the weight. But like I said, I just think that Benavidez is levels above.
Adding to the debate, Max Kellerman says Benavidez has earned his reputation without getting the signature fight that proves elite status. He claims top names avoided him, making a possible clash with Opetaia far more significant than an ordinary matchup.
By my lights, the way I figure things, has never actually been the champion of a division. Not his fault. Canelo never gave him a shot. So far, neither Bivol gave him a shot, nor Beterbiev, when he was a champ, gave him a shot. Opetaia is a champion who is sitting there going, I want to fight you, right? Look, the fact that no one's fought Benavidez, you understand. And I know he just beat Zurdo Ramirez and there were belts on the line. The actual champion of the division.
Teddy Atlas praises Benavidez for consistently seeking top-level challenges instead of safe fights. He highlights his willingness to face bigger, dangerous opponents, saying this mindset shows the confidence, ambition, and high standards he brings throughout his boxing career.
A talent. He's been fighting since he's a kid. You know, he was brought up, him and his brother, to be fighters. It's in their blood. You know, they live it. But I always loved him because of his attitude on top of that. that he'll fight anyone. Old school. You know, he puts his money where his mouth is. He wanted to fight Canelo, he's ready to fight Canelo. You know, he didn't get that, then, you know, he goes up to light heavyweight and he wins the title there. And then he goes up to cruiserweight. He'll take fights that, at least on paper, are risky fights that a lot of people wouldn't take, and he'll take them. He puts his money where his mouth is. He has the true confidence that you want in his champion.
Atlas also notes, Benavidez becomes highly dangerous when exchanges speed up, using sharp bursts, combinations, and timing to seize control instantly. He sees this momentum-shifting ability as a core reason for Benavidez's success.
Hands are faster, he's more explosive, and he's got that ability to fight and burst. He is a guy, I think the secret's out. I don't think everyone knew that this is a guy who is explosive and burst. The way that, you know, you might be in a certain part of the country that is prone to cloud bursts of rain. Like in the middle of the day, all of a sudden, boom, there's a burst of torrential rain. And then it stops. And then boom, there's another one. That's Benavidez. He is explosive with his hand speed, with power, and just his knack, his instinctual knack to know when to.
Despite growing interest in the matchup, Jose Benavidez Sr. doubts Opetaia is fully refined at elite level, noting times when sustaining pace became difficult. However, Benavidez insists his team has no concerns about taking on that challenge.
I think he's a great fighter. I met him at a fight. I want to give a big shout out to Opetaia. I think he's a great fighter. He's doing well, but I think he still needs the experience, you know. His last fight, I think he held back. He looked a little bit tired. He was struggling in there. He did win the fight to me, and I mean, he did win pretty much all the rounds. But, you know, I just think that he needs a little bit more experience. You know, we'll fight him tomorrow. Not a problem. Like I said, we want to fight him. But it's a fight that people want to see.
Coach Breadman believes Opetaia poses a much tougher athletic test for Benavidez than recent opponents, highlighting his explosiveness, movement, and southpaw, angles that could trouble him during exchanges under pressure.
Well, Opetaia is big, fast, and explosive. And David has good defense, but he's not unhittable. So the fact that David started out at 168 and Opetaia started out at 200, Opetaia, you know, I didn't think Zurdo could do anything with David because he's just too slow getting off, man. You know what I mean? Like, everything is not about speed, man, but when the speed difference is that big, you gotta have some kind of like masterful timing or jab or something to offset that. He's just too slow. Opetaia not slow like that. He's twitchy, he's fast, and he's explosive. And David gonna have to be careful. That ball hit you with a left hand, he can knock you out. And he's a southpaw, so he'll have some built-in advantages. He's just it's not a skill thing. He's a different level athlete than what Elzurdo is.
Breadman gives Benavidez the advantage in skill and refinement, but still sees Opetaia as a tough challenge due to his pressure and physical strength, capable of forcing uncomfortable moments even when Benavidez controls the fight.
He's gonna be fighting hard. I think David might know a little bit too much for him. I think he might be a little bit too skillful for him and be a little bit too slick, but his raw athleticism and punching power is something David gonna have to be careful with. Remember the Morrell fight where David was winning rounds, but Morrell was shaking David up because he was big and he was strong and he was like physical with him. He was shaking David up with some punches, if you remember that fight. It wasn't a thing where Morrell was winning more rounds than he was, but it was like a danger, like, yo, I just can't do what I want to do with this guy because he's so big and he's so strong and he's fighting back. Well, Opetaia is bigger than Morrell and he's a little better.
A little better, huh?
Yeah, I think he's a little bit better than Morrell.
Okay.
Yep. Not a lot, but I think he's a little better. And he's 25 pounds big.
Andre Dirrell believes Opetaia's movement and defense can manage exchanges, but his offense still needs refinement. He suggests using the lead hand more, consistently to set up attacks and create clearer openings.
Does lack is a creative jab, right? He doesn't use his jab as much as he should. Though the footwork is there, right? He's going to make you miss and he'll eventually make you pay. You know, but that jab sets up everything and helps you find the following shots, man. So he could be a lot more tailored with his jab and a lot more successful.
Dirrell praises Benavidez's offense, highlighting his combinations, speed, pressure, and power. However, he notes Benavidez can lose discipline when advancing, often relying on aggression rather than structured positioning while closing distance on opponents.
But probably the best cruiserweight in the division because I remember when I talked to Brandon, he was, working and sparring guys like Arthur, and a lot of times in Arthur Benavidez camps, a lot of the sparring partners, they don't make it. Like they get sent home like first day and stuff. So, but there was a lot of consistency in him in those camps, let alone his career. I know he kind of fell short with a fight here and there, but he's also had breakout.
Bernie the boxer praises Benavidez's accomplishments, strength, and readiness to fight under pressure. However, he questions his technical execution, even while recognizing its effectiveness. Still, he feels Benavidez's aggressive style naturally produces exciting and entertaining bouts.
He a hard puncher? Yes. Do he got swag? Yes. Is he a champion now, unified? Yes. Do I think he's afraid of anybody? No. But I'm not impressed with David Benavidez, like I'm saying. And the shit, not only that I don't like his style, the way he fights. I don't like his style. I don't like his stance. Again, listen, I don't like his style. He's confrontational. So it makes the fight intriguing because he's going to mix it up. He's not going to be safety first. He's going to mix it up. So I appreciate that from an exciting standpoint, from that.
Zab Judah believes Benavidez is a tough puzzle at the elite level, pointing to his changing offense and awkward rhythm that becomes difficult to read under pressure, preventing opponents from ever feeling fully comfortable.
It's a new style. David Benavidez has his own style in boxing. He has his own, he's the first fighter we know with his style. And coming up with his style, he mastered it. So there is no real defense for the style yet. There is no real, how does the blockage go? How does it go? Like, I never see they don't teach no shit like that, you know what I mean? So until somebody can come up with, until they can learn their style completely, you're not gonna know how to defend against it. We gotta see it some more, you know what I mean? So shout out to David Benavidez coming up with his own style. That's crazy. And the switch, crazy. My guy, he's the first guy with it. What up? I'm saying it. Don't make David cut that switch on.
Meanwhile, Judah backs tough matchups, but opposes moving into heavyweight, saying naturally larger opponents bring overwhelming size and physical strength, especially after weight cuts, which could strip a fighter of the key advantages that built their success.
Opetaia wants that smoke as well, but is in Zuffa.
Yeah, he could get on that him. Let's go, run it. But the heavyweights, nah, bro, hold up. Solid heavyweight niggas, 230, 240, and then all the time they coming down from 260. Nah, bro, don't do that. Don't let them trick you out this spot, dude.
The idea of Benavidez versus Opetaia is starting to feel real rather than hypothetical, as both fighters continue gaining momentum and attention. The growing discussion now puts pressure on whether boxing can actually make this high-risk matchup happen. If it does, the fight would go beyond power, testing skill, size, and composure under elite pressure. It could ultimately show who truly belongs at the top level. Do you think Opetaia can challenge Benavidez? Or is Benavidez on a different level right now? Share your prediction and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more boxing analysis.